Well, it was about almost 3 weeks ago that you invited me over to your house for a birthday party that I was invited to and honored to be at. Jenny had shared with me that you had leukemia and that she was throwing you a party, and I was honored that I was asked to come over with your family. And you know, I started thinking the other night about how we first met and how you would come into church every single week and you would tell me a joke. I mean, that was, our first interaction was you coming up, and I thought you were serious, asking me a question about, did you see that blind guy with the dog come in? Or you'd say something. You always had a joke for me.
You were always happy when we'd look eye to eye and I'd say, this is the one.
It was so funny. And then you would come out and bit by bit, I would get a little bit of your story. I remember the day that you told me that you hadn't had a drink. I remember it was your anniversary.
1 year anniversary.
Yep. You would share that with me, and then you shared with me that I hadn't seen you in a while last, February, and you had a heart attack, and they had put some stents in, and you overcame that. You were looking good, and
for a few weeks.
And then they found a spot in your lung and ended up with lung cancer. You had to have surgery, and now you have leukemia.
Yeah, now is the end of the road.
How long have you been sober?
Since January of, well, it's been 3 years. It'll be 3 years in January.
3 years in January, that's awesome. Congrats. But that day that I came for the party.
That was at my 80th birthday party last week ago, a couple weeks ago.
You were surrounded by your family, and your daughter Erin was here.
Yeah.
And
of course.
And that's I wanted you to share the bit of that story, because I got to watch you.
Yeah, you were right next to Erin and myself. Mm-hmm. And we got talking, it was like a reminiscence of myself and Erin. Erin's a beautiful woman. And we got talking about my drinking. I told Erin, I said, you know that. I said, your dad loves you, and that I always have. And I said, because I couldn't control it, I wasn't able to see you for years. Now that's out of my life. I said, you're in my life. Alcohol's gone. So we hug each other, and tears rolling down her face, and tears rolling down mine.
So Patrick, during that time where you were drinking, where you were, alcohol had you, as you would say, you missed birthday parties, you missed Thanksgivings and Christmases, and you even missed the birth of her first child. Then you gave up alcohol. Talk to me about that, when you first realized that you needed to tell your daughter that you were sorry.
Oh, I knew I needed to tell her that for a long, long time. But when it came to the point where I had to tell her, was when she came over. It was just something that I said, I'm so sorry for hurting you all these years. And she was crying so much, and she forgave me.
How important was it for you to actually say those words to her, to Erin?
Well, it was more important for both of us. I don't know which one. For me, a relief. I was in this mess all these years and doing her. I couldn't see her. She just lives across the river, and I couldn't get over there. I'd get halfway there and stop at a bar, and that was it. And I couldn't get over there. I couldn't cross over the bridge. Ain't that something? 'Cause now I'm free of it. The Lord has set me free of that.
I think that for a lot of people, the idea that, well, I think it's too late. I mean, is it ever too late?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, there's never too late. I don't think so.
Well, it's never too late to say I'm sorry, and it's never. I think those words are so important to speak, and I'm just so grateful for you for sharing your story, and for thank you for the jokes. Thank you for all the time that you come to our church and lightened up my life.
I just hope, Tom, that there's somebody that's in need of some help with being sorry. They know inside their hearts that, but they can't get it out. Mm-hmm. And I hope that someday they do, because once it's out, you're going to feel like a different person.